if you would not eat the product, don't serve it. Always be proud of what you put on the plate and which is served to the customer. Produce features which are produced quickly and present well. Make liberal use of golf course products and ingredients and in-house preserves. Food needs to be ready to be served within 20 minutes of ordering.
Eat well, golf hard.
Audubon for Dean was always a big thing.
Yeah.
And we kind of moved into, we expanded on that and we sort of started to become more resourceful in the produce and so forth as well. And we use them now as part of on the menu, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So how does the philosophy from what they do on the course translate to what happens here in the kitchen?
well, fresh is best, right? And like,
Yeah.
I mean, local ingredients. Like you can't be much lower than 2,000 or 3,000 feet, right? Like I mean, and that's really what it is. Like I mean, if you were to go outside in the patio, there's artichokes growing right there. In that area there, and we have herbs hanging all over, which we pick daily for our meals and garnishes and so forth, right? And of course, Dean was gracious enough to build a really big garden outside, and you probably know where it is, you've seen it, and that has helped. We have I would think in the summer months, 50 to 60% of the vegetables on the plate are ours. Right?
What about a philosophy here in the kitchen for working in the kitchen for staff that comes in and new staff?
Well, what we've just done earlier, right? Like I mean, getting into really training people in the trade from scratch, turning them into red seal chefs, right? From the beginning. Or from the very early stages. That's what we've been doing more and more. We find that because of some of the things we do, we're a rather unique operation in the kitchen, like everywhere, but very much in the kitchen. And so sometimes you hire people and they don't necessarily have the necessary skill set, right? So we just figured, bring in people from scratch, the very early stage, and just get them trained in our way of thinking and in our way of working, and as well just making good craftsmen, because we're really short of those.
Yeah, well, you talk about craftsmen. Tell me about some of the forgotten cooking methods and stuff like that you guys are trying to bring back together.
We do. We can, like, we make our, again, it goes back to the stuff coming off the course, right? Like all of a sudden at the end of the season, you have enormous amounts of fruit and so forth you need to process, right? So we pickle things, we make chutneys, we make fruit butters as well. That's a very old traditional Quebec specialty, where they reduce the fruit into almost like a paste. Because again, there they had lots of apples, but we use a lot of other things as well. We have quince and plums and so forth. The other thing is we're curing our own meats to some degree, and we also make our own sausages, and we do some smoking as well. The traditional old smoking. Yeah.
That's awesome. Tell me, you touched on it briefly, but tell me a bit more about the ceremony we just saw.
Yeah.
The guys coming up.
Well, ITA has changed. It used to be an apprenticeship used to be sort of a whole block. Now they cut it into 3 levels. There's a cook 1, a cook 2, and then a cook 3, which is the red seal, right? And so I try to have somebody in every level. First, level 1, which is Hannah, then Miles, we've seen Miles, and then Kyle. He's basically now a professional chef, and he's going to stay the summer with us this year. Then he's going to move on, and I will hire another apprentice. He'll start in about 2 years, and so that way we always have between two to four staff in the training, and it's really good for us. Like I mean, we sort of send home the philosophy. They understand what we're trying to do. It's great.
Fantastic. Last question for you. Hardest question ever for me. What's your favorite item on the menu?
I don't really have one. No.
All right. If someone was coming and they were going to only be able to come to Cordova Bay once, what would you tell them to have from the menu?
One of the most popular items on there is the chicken crate. That's been something we've been doing for probably about 20 years, and it still outsells everything. It's a good dish. I would look into some of if I was to come here only once, I would look at some of the things we do in the braising, slow cooking and so forth. We always have something on feature or sometimes on the menu, like the Moroccan lamb or something. I mean, it's sort of run its course now, but that kind of stuff, where we slow cook things, I think we do a really good job on that.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Walter. Appreciate that. That's brilliant.